Hey guys, this is Shiny Zekrom and welcome back for another video. As told in the last part, I will be going to Seaside Cavern and completing that dungeon. Now, I'm actually not going to do two like I did mention I was going to do in the last part, but there's a specific reason. And as you can see, this is the first place we've seen Krabby, so kill one. Oh, drop the Chesto Berry, that's different. Let's absorb these guys and see if we get anything else. No, just a random Chesto Berry, okay. But regardless, what we're going to do is head on down this way and talk about how... Okay, so... We're not going to do two dungeons, and the reason is this one has a boss at the end versus end boxes with the other two dungeons we have before, a specific dungeon I want to do. Now, the reason why I want to do this is this boss, I'll say right now, has no drops, so I don't need to find out what kind of drops it has. Meanwhile, with the end boxes of the upcoming dungeons we have, I'm going to need to make sure I know everything so I can do like a text that kind of like Star Wars effect goes up the screen and you guys can read the items that you can receive. But I'll worry about that in the next part, and we'll just do one dungeon for this part, and the other two I will do in a combined part. Alright, so inside this dungeon we go. Here is Seaside Cavern right down at the beach, and there's only two Pokemon in this 5-floor dungeon. And there is a mechanic once we get to 2 after that I will show you. And here are the Pokemon, Slowbro and Staryu. Now this is important. Make sure you are picking up these Seaside keys because you are going to need them for later. I promise. What these keys do is they open a locked door. This locked door mechanic you're also going to want to remember because it's going to be used in later dungeons. It may not be the same type of thing, but you still. So what you do is you take the key, and once you step on it, it'll ask if you want to use it. You can click yes or no, of course, but you don't have to. You have a chance on 1 and 5F to find, no, not 5F you don't have a chance to find keys, but 1F you have a chance at 1, and you can find 2 keys on that floor. As you can see, we found the 1 for this floor, and we can take it up to this. Now there is actually one of the 2 Pokemon in this dungeon I do want to actually recruit to use throughout the adventure. What one, you ask? Well, you'll see if I get it, because I'll instantly add it and start using it. Alright, so we don't have to. This also is a pretty decent experienced dungeon because you can have small floors, and a lot of Pokemon actually do spawn on per floor. So this could be a pretty good dungeon you go to early. And here's our key for the floor, and as you saw, we grew to level 15. I'm going to try not to grow any more levels because I want to get that Pokemon and train it, but we'll just move on for now. On to the next floor, 4F. Got Slowpoke here, let's kill him. I'm just showing what it's like to also have to hunt for keys and stuff. We got our first recruit, but this is not it. I do not want to use a Slowpoke to get a Slowbro or Slowking. I want Staryu, if that's not the obvious case at this point, because if I say I don't want Slowpoke and there's only 2 Pokemon in the dungeon, who else would I want? And I promise there's no secret rare spawn of anything in here. It's just straight up Staryu and Slowpoke only. Now, if I could get this Pokemon, this Staryu would be nice. It seems we're running out of belly already, so let's head for the stairs, I guess. I have to remember where it was, though. I can't seem to get these Staryus. I should click on these and see what the chances are. A 13.5% chance of Slowpoke, and it wants to join me immediately. These keys, by the way, if you happen to have any left over, they only sell for 1 poke. They're not of use. And here we go. Finally got it. And I think this is the highest level you can actually recruit it at, level 5. Now we got Tackle, Harden, and Water Gun to start with, which is really nice moveset. And as you can see, I can walk over this water. With water such as that, you have to have a flying water ghost typed Pokemon or a Pokemon with levitate. in order to go over water. As you can see, I'm level 6 already. I want to try and get this to level 10 before we leave, just so it's at least a decent level. And this would actually be a good time to explain something else. If I decide I want to do training in a dungeon, I will show it off screen, and I will tell you guys about the results in the next video of said training. Now, I will say right now, I am not going to show results of training this thing because I'll just use it in the next couple of dungeons we have coming up. So you see, we're at level 8 now. What's the chance that I had to recruit these? Oh, that would explain a lot more. I have a 3.1% less chance to get Staryu than I do Slowpoke. It seems we're getting Slowpoke even with this freaking Staryu already. It's just mainly a higher level that you really need. And we're at level 9, so one more level will deal with it. And I will actually try and earn at the boss, so I'll make sure I get to like 70%. Just gonna use this water gun, kill these Slowpokes. One has to join, of course. Alright, so we're at 79%, which is perfect. I will head for the stairs, and we can get going to the boss of the dungeon. Or if the Staryu wants to be in the way. Alright, let's head in. So our boss is Kingler. Arg, so it was you who was stomping around up there and stealing all my loot. Do you really think I would let you go? Arg, of course not. Now, prepare to walk the plank. Yeah, it's a pirate, Kingler. So you can see we're not doing much damage, but Kingler is actually kind of defensive, but if you use some special attacks, yeah. And he'll run away after that, and it looks like Staryu actually hit level 10.5. That's really nice for this dungeon. This boss used to drop items, but since they changed the place, they decided to get rid of Kingler's drops. But that's actually really about all there is to it. We completed Seaside Cavern. There's only 2 Pokemon in there. You can find like apples, oranges, and whatnot in there. And that's it. Oh, and it looks like I walked into town at another good moment because we have more family items on the ground. People getting... Oh, people are... Oh, never mind. People are talking. That isn't related to this. So let's sell that. The key, the Oranberry, the Chesto, Blast Seed, and these family items that were on the ground again. And look at that. I made 666 poke. I'm the devil confirmed. But we made up the 500 poke that we used for the house entrance in the last part, and we store that, and we make a 166 poke profit, which nears us towards our goal of, well, to get to 2,000 pokes. So what I'll do is, I think I'll take these Leppas here and sell them and see how much poke we end up at. I know this isn't very interesting, but you know. Oh yeah, that should be plenty more than enough. So let's store this 65. And did we hit our goal? Ah, we're 1 poke off. I'll sell another apple. And I forgot to bring my beginner's band too, because that probably could have really helped Staryu train a little bit faster, but you know, what happens happens. And let's sell that, and if we store, we are at 2,009 poke, which is a pretty decent start so far. And you can see what selling all your items can do at some points, because if I sold the apples and ethers, we could have more. But regardless, in the next video, we are going to train up Staryu a little bit in the next dungeon, which is going to be heading this way. So, thank you guys for watching. In the next part, the dungeon that we're going to cover is called Sunny Hillside. See you guys then.